Violated.
Degrading.
My rights was violated.
Belittled. I simply can't just walk down the street without being accused for something that I have nothing to do with.
Do we welcome the police? Of course I do. And of course I know 99% of the people in the area do. But they also fear the police because of you can get stopped at any time.
The dehumanizing aspect of stop and frisk, that some people are treated differently based on who they are, must stop.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We continue now our conversation on stop and frisk. And joining us at the table tonight to sound off, Heather McDonald, fellow at the Manhattan Institute and contributing editor of City Journal. She's also the author of the book, Are Cops Racist? Dominic Carter, political journalist and author, and also joining us, Mayo Bartlett, former chief of the Bias Crimes Unit in Westchester DA's office, and also he wears his sunglasses at night. We'll explain on that. And our senior political correspondent, Andrew Whitman. And I joke, Mayo, but obviously I shouldn't make a joke about your eye condition right now, but I figured we'd explain for the table. You haven't really big timed this all just yet. All right. You guys saw the piece, and I just feel, Dominic, and we'll get into whether this works or not, it just feels that we're almost getting to a tipping point on this thing. You follow politics in the city as well as anybody. I haven't seen a mayoral candidate who doesn't say they have a problem with this thing. Do you sense more momentum? People talked about this for the last 10 years, but it finally seems, with the court case and everything, this thing's moving forward.
The momentum has completely tipped over, and I think that we're going to see some change. Politically, the feds may not mandate change, but I think that in a backdoor way, and we're already seeing it as far as the mayor backpedaling on stop and frisk as well as the police commissioner.
Well, certainly stop and frisk as it relates to marijuana and the decriminalization of the small amounts. Heather, the mayor, certainly the police commissioner, stand by this as a policy. Are they right?
I think they're right. There's no other city that has had as long and as steep a crime drop in New York as New York. New Yorkers are pretty much oblivious to how different our crime portrait is from every other place in the country. Frank Zimring, a University of California law professor, recently wrote a book called The City That Became Safe, concluded the only thing that explains why New York City is so radically different in its crime drop from every other city in the country is its proactive policing and the fact that the cops are going out there and trying to stop crime before it happens.
Okay. Now, you heard the professor from Malloy College who disputed the data as that there was a cause and effect. But the one thing, guys, this policy started because the mayor, the police chief, they wanted to get guns off the streets of New York. But there's a couple numbers that I just find, I don't know where we really debate this one. If we can put the graphic, in terms of stop and frisk, 99.9% of the people that are stopped do not have a gun on them. The total numbers of guns that have been taken for persons through stop and frisk has gone down in the last 10 years, even though it's gone up almost 600% the number of stops.
What would deterrence look like to you, Richard? This is what it's supposed to happen. We got 800 guns last year. We got 5,000 weapons. We have brought shootings down without any precedent anywhere else. You have the 136th Street gang in Harlem that was paying girls to carry their guns for them because they knew that girls had a lesser chance of getting stopped.
Well, let me give Heather.
So how would you deter it if not by
my
doing
open question to that is, you're basically saying you don't have any constitutional rights anymore under your thing. Let the cops do whatever they want with no oversight. But Mayor, I'll let you speak to that. To me, the numbers say it's not working. Crime is down, but the number of stops have gone up, and the number of, in effect, guns taken from them, crimes or prosecutions are all down. The numbers, numerator and denominator, are out of whack.
I think the number that you look at that's most telling is the fact that the number of homicides has not increased. And you have to look at that fact given the disproportionate and huge increase in the number of people who have been stopped. And yes, occasionally you may get a gun. But when you get that gun, what was that person going to do with the gun anyway? If you go to Virginia and you stop and frisk people for guns, you'll find that lots of people have guns because the gun laws in Virginia are very different. You're not criminally treated because you possess a weapon. You don't get 3.5 years in prison for possessing a weapon. So the real question is, was the person that you happen to stop intending to use that gun in a criminal way to begin with? The other question is this: if we were to go into Scarsdale or to the Upper East Side and just stop everyone randomly, I'm quite sure that you'd find lots of people have narcotics, lots of people have contraband, lots of people have engaged in criminal acts. If you search everyone's computer, you may find images in people's computers you never thought you'd find, and eventually be able to charge all those people. So the crime numbers are manipulated. The crime statistics actually are manipulated because you decide who to arrest.